Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are in Palm Desert, Palm Springs, whatever you want to call it, for Coachella. So we just got to the hotel. I figured I would give you guys a silly little tour. All right, so first we have the bathroom in here. Very nice, you know, good size. Wow, look at that. Nice little shower. Solid, good head right here. Looks like some quality water pressure. Let's give it a little test. Yeah, it looks pretty good. We got lather. Not sure what that is, but sounds nice. Yeah, not too bad in here. Moving on, we got the two queens, which it's only two of us. They also gave us goodies, which is cool. Lots of goodies actually. Some whatever this is, erasers. I don't even know what, oh, it's like earbuds. Makes sense. Cleansing wipes. I don't know what, oh, no, that is not tea. That is to make a cocktail. Advil. Some the bougie little paper chapstick. Some cheese balls. This stuff is kind of ass, but like in a way where like I used to drink those when I worked at a grocery store. Sounds functional mushrooms. I was gonna say sounds good. It sounds kind of odd, but you know, maybe we'll try it. Some sort of liquid IV adjacent thing. Yeah, tons of other stuff. Whatever this is, prebiotic. Honestly, this sounds really good to me. These little waffle cone things. This sounds good to me. And this shit sounds kind of gross. But you never know. And then we also have more over here, just in case the one thing of tomato chips wasn't enough. We got another. And then we have all the Adidas clothes that I'm going to be sort of wearing alongside some of the stuff that I packed. But yeah, that's pretty much it. A little view of the pool out here. So yeah, that concludes the tour. Ooh, there's a hot tub. Anyways, so it is day one. We are about to go outside. We already got our coffee this morning, but there is like an Adidas brunch thing. So we're gonna stop by that, get some food maybe. And then there is like a Celsius event thing, which is like off Coachella grounds. I don't really know how any of this works. So it's gonna be like a little bit of a learning curve, I guess. But we're gonna go to that, and then we're gonna go to the actual Coachella after that. And I guess just sort of kind of explore. I know there's like an Adidas sort of VIP section that we'll go and check out. There's going to be a couple artists, like I think later in the night, that we're interested in. And yeah, we will see from there. So let's do that.
All in the speakers in the crib like baseball, when police is come. Welcome to the Mark Boudelier Show, where we show Johns and sometimes drip or drown, baby. Drip.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It is I, Mark Boudelier, and today we are going to be talking about clothing items that I regret selling. I've been buying and selling and trading clothing for probably near a decade at this point, so there are a lot of them. I'm sure I'm not covering all of them in this video, but I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna show some of the heavy hitters, some of the stuff that I just genuinely think that I would wear today. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. We'll start with a heavy hitter, which is this Kapital Century denim jacket. At the time, I got rid of it thinking that it was a little bit too snug, which, you know, I feel like it was a slim fit, but I feel like it was also appropriate that it fit that way. When I look back at old photos of me wearing it, you know, I kind of regret it. It was a classic. I was just starting to kind of like really break it in. I also sold it for super cheap, as I tend to do these days. I kind of just screw myself over left and right whenever I sell anything. That's probably one of the tops on this list that I regret. Moving on, which this is like a completely random one. I'm sure most people that watch my content wouldn't expect to see this, but we have a pair of Kobe sneakers, which if you guys know, I used to play basketball. That was like my big thing. Like middle school, high school, I had tons of Kobe sneakers, clothing. I wore Nike Elites in basketball jerseys to school every day kind of thing. But this is a pair of Kobe 8s, the Easter iteration, which I haven't checked recently, but I'm sure these things are going for like crazy amounts of money at this point. One of the better Kobe's really of all time, in my opinion. Just a super cool, sort of unique colorway. Would I actually wear these if I still had them? Probably not. It's just one of those that I wish I had held on to. Moving on, we have another pair of shoes, and this one, again, is just super random. It's this really old, clunky pair of Prada shoes. I don't remember these being very comfortable, but I feel like looking back, they're very unique looking. They don't scream Prada or really any brand. I just feel like I would wear these a lot. I wear a lot of chunky shoes these days. Most of my shoes are black, and I feel like this is just kind of a unique shape. I do have one image of me actually wearing the shoes, and it's a pretty terrible outfit, I must say. That pant shoe interaction is not interacting all too well. Anyways, next up we have, this is like a full outfit photo, and honestly most of the stuff in the image I kind of regret. So on top it was like an undercover shirt, the sleeves sort of zipped off, and it was like the skull print. At the time I think I paid like $120 or something for it. And like today, I haven't seen any like listed anywhere, but I'm sure the asking price is much higher than $120. I also am wearing the Rick Owens Geo Thrashers. That was like my budget way of getting Geo baskets back in the day, which I think I do actually follow up by showing some Geo baskets at some point in this video. But I got the Geo Thrashers because they were dirt cheap. I think I paid like $150, $200, something crazy. And I just thought that they were like too basic. Like they weren't like anything crazy. And I'm like, why did I pay this much money for something that's like, you know, essentially just Vans? But looking back, I feel like that was kind of like the whole, like I know I wanted something crazy at the time, but looking back, like I feel like I would still wear these shoes. I wouldn't jump on like going back and buying them again. I was also wearing this backpack, which this was like my backpack through college. It was an undercover East pack. It was like super furry. I feel like it always, you know, got me some weird looks because I didn't go to like a fashion school or anything. So it was just like, I was just the guy with the furry backpack every day. But in hindsight, I kind of missed the furry backpack. It was a good everyday bag. It served me well for the 4 years I was in school. Next up, and this is a very heavy hitter. This is like, honestly, the full fit, but the main thing we're talking about here is the Patagonia Retro X fleece. This one was from the 80s, I believe, and it's one of those ones. It's like the deep pile that actually goes for like a lot of money. I do have another Retro X that I bought like maybe a year or two later because I, you know, went back and regretted that one, and that was like the best one that I could find. So the one I have now is still vintage. It's from like the 90s or something, but this one goes for just insane amounts of money, and I sold it for pretty much nothing. I got it for like $50, but these things are selling for like, I don't know, $400 or $500. I'm never gonna pay that, so I'll never get it again unless I just stumble into it or like trade or something, but you know, kind of miss it. Continuing on through this outfit, I'm wearing like some vintage silver tab Levi's that had like this like cool, like almost corduroy type texture. I don't know what you call that. It didn't fit that great, so I'm like, I'm fine getting rid of those, but they were kind of cool. And then the Palace Solomons were actually like one of my favorites for the longest time. I really beat them up, and I think that was what ultimately led me to getting rid of them. Almost everything on this list, like there was a reason I got rid of it, but you know, we can still remember the happy times that we had with those pieces. So I do kind of miss those shoes. Next up, this is a fun fit pick right here. Love that Vivienne Westwood chain. This Mihara jacket, the big zipper jacket. This thing goes for probably a pretty penny these days. I bought it for like, again, I think I paid like $150 or something crazy. You're not getting those deals these days. That's the thing. That's what really makes these even more regrettable, is just because the market is so ridiculous these days. But this jacket was fun. It was silly. It was, you know, great source of content, and frankly, I think it would be more fun now that I'm in New York too. Like, it wouldn't be as crazy. I remember wearing this to school. Again, I didn't go to like a fashion school, so every step I took, it would like clink a little bit, and I couldn't do it. Like, I just felt like such a bozo. I feel like I had to hold the zipper when I walked just so that I wasn't hearing the little I regret it, but I don't know. Maybe I just wanted to flex on you guys a little bit and say that I got that jacket that I had. I'm also wearing these Doc Martens actually, which I think were the Fulmar Derbies. I really liked them. Like, that was honestly one of my favorite pairs of Docs. Like, I've owned a lot of Docs in my time, and those are still probably one of my favorites. I don't know if they still make them, but if they do, they're pretty cool. All right, next up. This one, I don't know if he still owns them, but I sold them to a buddy. It's these vintage orange tab Levi's. These are probably from like the 70s or something. And I used to work at Buffalo Exchange. One day, this person just brought in like a bag full of shit, and like most of it was like nothing crazy. And then I randomly pulled out these jeans, and they were like I was blown away. Sure, they look like they're covered in piss, but all of like the repairs on these, the fact that they were like a flare, the inside, I think the inside is the craziest part, that it was like repaired with like quilts or like just interesting textiles in general. I will say these were like a 34 or something insane. Like, the waist was way too big on me and the length was way too long. The actual hem was like completely destroyed. Craziest heel bite ever. In hindsight, I probably could have sold them for like some crazy amount, but instead I hand altered them to fit me, and they were a little bit like up the butt, you know what I mean? Like, when pants are too big and you try and alter them in the waist, like, they just give you kind of a wedgie. That's kind of what these did. Next up, this full outfit, I don't think I have any of it, to be honest, but the Kiko campers, I definitely regret those. They were a little too big, and that's like, again, that's the reason. But I would love to find a pair of these in my size. Again, I don't know if I would like go crazy seeking them out, but if I found them for a good deal, I would definitely go back. Again, most of these, I feel like I'm more so showing than actually fully regretting. Like I kind of regret, but like, there's only a few of them that I'm actually like heartbroken over, which one of them is kind of these shoes, which is the Aleeks Fragment Roas. I feel like it's hard to find like a really good all white pair of sneakers, or any shoes for that matter. They were a little bit Fila disruptory. They were also like a little bit snug. I think my feet are different sizes because one shoe is always a little more snug than the other, but I do miss them. Moving on, to be honest, I really don't regret selling these pants at all, but I just wanted to show you guys that I had them. It is these undercover hybrid like sweatpant jean things. I don't remember what season they're from. I'm not like super huge into undercover like that, but they were really cool. They were just also super low rise, which has never really been my thing. I also was wearing the Marnie Mules, which kind of regret those. Like, they were fun, but they got beat up really fast. Bottoms were pretty destroyed and they kept getting scuffed, so there's that. We're moving a little quick here. We have the BBS Solomons. You guys know I have the pink pair now, but this was like, they referred to it as a gray, I believe, but it's definitely sort of brown. And that was kind of part of what I couldn't wrap my head around it, because I was like, should I style these as if they were gray or brown? And I'm like, am I colorblind? Like, are these gray and I'm just seeing them as brown? I just kind of kept going back and forth with myself. So ultimately, I just wound up getting rid of them. Moving on, we have this vintage John Deere jacket. This one is cool. It's just like a good green work jacket. I never wore it that much. There was a period of time where I did, and then I kind of like got over it and stopped wearing it as much. And I think the big reason why I kind of regret it is because like when I did like my very first New York Times like photo shoot thing for an article I was in, that was like the first article I was ever in. And it was like such a big sort of moment at the time. Like, that kind of jump started everything. And one of the outfits that I wore in that photo shoot was with this jacket. I'm not someone to really have like sentimental value with clothing or really anything, but you know, maybe I should. Maybe that was one of those pieces. Next up, the whole bottom half of this outfit, we have like a pair of like vintage Levi's 505s that had like a little bit of like a paint splatter on some unsound rags, Owen Hyatt type shit. Also wearing the And Demeulemeester boots, which were pretty cool. Next up, we have this other pair of Tabussis. Now, these are honestly the ugliest Tabussis to ever exist, but I still kind of like them. I still kind of miss them. They're also like one of the more comfy Tabussis out there. They are the Fusion Hybrid Tabussis or something like that. Basically like the Cumgellas that you guys see. It's like that shoe mixed with the tabby. Next pair of shoes are the DMA Helliot Emils. I know why I got rid of them. For one, they were like a smidge big, but for two, they were like 300 pounds on your feet. Like, they were absolute tanks, but they were pretty cool. They looked cool. They had the big old carabiner on the back. Next, we have this pair of jeans as well, which again, a little bit slimmer, but I feel like this was a pair that I should have held on to. Like, they were just a nice, really nice fabric. They were a pair of black tab Levi's that were like 60s or 70s. I thrifted them. Like, I got them for literally like a couple bucks. They also fit me perfect. I didn't have to like alter them or anything. So it's one of those where I feel like, especially when the trend cycle kind of comes back around and people start wearing slimmer legs, and really that's like a classic, like, I don't know. You got to be careful getting rid of the classic items, and I feel like that's what I should have, kept in mind. But, a lot of life events happen. I moved a couple times since owning those. So like doing all these things, like you tend to get rid of stuff without really thinking about it. That's what this video is about, These are my regrets. I'm sure you guys have some regrets. Maybe you have some pieces that you're thinking about getting rid of right now that you'll look back and regret. So maybe this is a time for us to both learn, Only a few more. We had this pair of Suey Cokes, which just the classic black pair. I feel like Suey Cokes had such a moment back in the day. And I kind of missed that moment, Like I think that's why I pulled this picture to use. Not that I would necessarily go wearing these every single day if I had a pair again. I do have like an orange pair that I just wear around the house, but this was just a fun time. Like people would always ask if you're wearing like a cast and like make fun of them and stuff, but like they were super cozy. They were easy to throw on. There was a period of time where like every single day I would just slip these on. That was the last one. I feel very certain that there's pieces that I didn't put in this video that I also regret getting rid of, but for the sake of this video and for the sake of, yeah, this is what I had for you. So thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate it as always. And until next time, bye.